Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very well. How can you really put this into words? Um, Basically, the only way I can really put it into words is to go from the very beginning and tell you exactly what Justin Edinburgh meant to me, what I believe he meant to everybody else at Newport County, and what I know he would have meant to the people at Leyton Orient as well, and Russian and Diamonds and the other clubs that he managed. Anyone who ever really got the opportunity to ever talk to him or get to know him, spend any time with him. Well, I can remember his first game. So his first game was Southport at home over Spitty Park. We lost that game 3-0 as it goes. So not the greatest of starts of life at Newport, but consider before that we were going through one of the worst periods I think we've been through. Basically on the field, Anthony Hudson's team of flops had basically taken what was looking like it was going to be a promising season and put us into a relegation battle. Anthony Hudson lost the plot, didn't have a clue. Even though we ended the previous season pretty well, he was gone. Justin was the one who came in, and everybody was really happy because we remember his Russian and Diamonds team being awesome the season before, and they should have done a lot better in the playoffs than what they did. But Justin came along, and even though we lost that game 3-0, there was something different about the players, and it grew and grew, and to the point that everybody knew that we had the right man in charge. And it's to the point where that season the fans actually clubbed together and put together thousands of pounds to give him more money to go and spend in the transfer window. And as it goes, not only did he save us from relegation, but he took us on our first ever trip to Wembley. We may have lost that final, but no one cared. No one gave a crap that we lost that because we went to Wembley for fuck's sake, you know? Unbelievable. It was an unbelievable day. And he took to the fans really well. I mean, obviously, I'm in the portion, as you know, that stand behind the dugouts at Spitty Park. Obviously, we were behind the dugouts there as well, and he always interacted with us. So did Jimmy Dack. They just brought this amazing aura about the club. It really got the best out of some of the players, and they managed to get rid of some of the players that didn't want to know. Because under Hudson, they were there for a payday, and you knew it. And from there, then obviously Wembley, wow, and we knew we had a proper gaffer on our hands there, and he put together a proper team the following season. Then he was instrumental. He apparently played an instrumental role in getting us over to Rodney Parade, which is what provided us with what we needed, not only to attract the right players, but to attract the fans and take us to another level. And it did. I mean, it's something that we'll always be grateful for, regardless of whether we quarrel with the rugby now or whatever. But we got there, and we're talking about someone like Les Scadding getting involved. Now, without a manager like Justin, do you think Les Scadding would have thought, is it worth putting my money into that club? Would he have given the money to the club if Anthony Hudson was our manager? Very simple answer to that, no. Justin Edinburgh was our manager. So he came and he gave the money to the club and put himself in as chairman. And that was the other part, the other piece of the jigsaw was getting a little bit of money behind us. Everyone says that we bankrolled our way into the Football League, and it's at the bollocks, because Justin Edinburgh put together the majority of that squad before Les Scadding got involved. So the likes of O'Connor came along, the likes of Danny Crowe came along, the likes of Tony James, David Pipe was already there because he signed in the season before, Lenny Pidgley, who else? Flynn. So he put together that team. Andy Sandell was already there. Lee Minchell, he signed. So we signed the majority of that squad that took us up. Obviously, I'm not trying to remember all the players' names. Obviously, I'm trying to take you through this now. And he did that, and he used the money that he got given well. He brought Alex Gilby on loan. Lee Evans he brought through. Lee Evans, great player. Andrew Hughes, great player. And Justin Edinburgh done an awful lot for them for their careers. Connor Washington as well. I mean, it's unreal, you know, the amount of players that are in his debt because he brought the best out of them and they made it. You know, they really made it in the game. And then going on then to the following season, and no one ever really expected us to do anything, you know, amazing, but we did. I mean, we started the season off, we won our first 5 games, for God's sake. You know, we had a little dip then, and then we went on and won a load more, and we were top of the league for a lot of the season. Mansfield steamrolled it in the end, but we were the front runners for the majority of the first half of the season. And then we made the playoffs, and we won them. I got to be fair, those are some of the best times of my life, you know. That entire playoff journey, some great away trips. We won some great games, like the Hereford away game. I mean, wow. I mean, the memories that are created for us, you know, because of the team that man put together, because of the good feeling that man brought to our football club, it's absolutely unreal. And then, who would have thought we would have got promoted back to the Football League? And then he put together a very competitive Football League team. I mean, we could have done a lot better than what we did in our first season. And then it was during the middle of the second season now, he left, and I wouldn't want to say he was on bad terms because he'd already given us so much. You know, we couldn't begrudge him a move to a higher level. I mean, losing him hurt me because of not just how good of a manager he was, but, you know, how much of an amazing person he was as well. I mean, if you look back, he gave his time to speak to me so I could put a video out to you guys. And obviously that video's there for you to watch now, of course. But then it was things like during our playoffs, after we'd beaten Grimsby at home, the whole team were out in Newport together with the manager. They all went out together. And I remember him taking the piss out of the size of my dick in the toilets. You know, because he was that kind of bloke. He would just come up and just take the piss. He's like, "Oh, is that all you Welshmen are packing?" And I just replied with, you know, with the reputation you guys got in Essex, I'd have thought you'd have had a lot more about you there as well. But no, we had a good giggle about that then, and then we went to Jena that summer after we got promoted. We went to Jena to go and play Karlsruhe Jena in Germany, and there he was there with Les, with Jimmy Dack, and the team weren't there because they were playing the next day, but they were there for a drink with us in the supporters club bar in Jena. And no, I got talking to him, and he even said to me that he'd give me a trial. You know, I mean, he would obviously had a few to drink. He wouldn't have given me a trial really, but you know, just saying that, I said, oh, you know, back in my day, I knew how to kick the ball around. Oh, you have to come down, we'll give you a trial, come down to training. And like, oh, I'd last about 5 minutes and I'd die, you know. Training, you know, with a Football League squad, you know, no, I'm a fat twat at the end of the day, you know. But, you know, just the fact that he would talk to me openly about what they've achieved and the fact that they haven't even done anything yet. You know, there's a lot more to come, and you know, it was exciting. And then later in the night, when we drank a lot more, we engaged in a dance-off where Justin Edinburgh referred to me as the man. You know, I just cut some shapes. You know, I was like John Travolta on acid or something like that. You know, I mean, that was me when I'd had a few to drink, and you know, you can't control your feet and all that. You just go for it. And you know, I had a bit of an audience there. You know, I had half a Jena packed into there, a bunch of Newport County supporters, and you know, the 3 most important men in our club at the time. So I thought, oh, here we go. And no, it was a good laugh, it was. And the next day, I actually had the worst pair of shorts you could ever have. For some reason, I thought they looked good. I put them on and they were absolutely awful. And it took me about a year or so looking back at some pictures to realise, oh my God, what was I wearing there? But Justin was very quick to point that out on game day. And he just came up to me, oh, nice shorts, Chris. Looked at it and I thought, oh, cheers, mate. I didn't realise you were taking the piss out of me. It was a year later I realised that. But no, that's what he was, you know. He was always good for a laugh, you know. You could always see him laughing and joking with people and, you know, just generally always looking happy, always smiling. You know, he never seemed upset or angry with anything unless, you know, on game day, if a referee gave a bad decision, he'd kick off. You know, or if someone done something wrong, he'd shout onto the pitch. But, you know, that's every manager, isn't it, really? But, I was privileged to actually get some time to speak with Justin. Obviously the night that we at our bus parade, I spoke to him there as well, and he was always always very, very friendly with people. Always had the time for anyone. Guys like him don't tend to come along that often, and I'm sure if any Orient fans are watching this, you'll find it completely relatable because he was just that kind of bloke. You just fell in love with him. That's why players play for him. That's why he's able to be so successful, because he can bring a group of players together. And I got no doubt in my mind at all that a lot of the traits that Michael Flynn possesses right now would have come from working with Justin, and I'm sure you'll back me up on that one. But like I say, I've just gone through a few of my memories. You look at the size of our football club in comparison to what it was when he first took over. He was part of a massive transformation in our football club, and we are where we are now because of him. Leyton Orient are back in the Football League because of him. And there's a lot of other non-league teams who he's worked for, the likes of Grays and Billericay. I'm sure he did great for them. It's a shame for him he didn't do so well at Gillingham and Northampton. It can't work everywhere, of course. But I think anyone associated with him can look back at his extremely premature managerial career and think, he did absolute wonders. He took two clubs back to the Football League where they belong, and it's such a shame that I was so looking forward to seeing him back at Rodney Parade next season. So looking forward to it, going up there to see what he's done there. He's completely U-turned two good Football League clubs and taken them to where they should be. Because we were the same. We were getting relegated. He took us from the brink of relegation to promotion the following season, did exactly the same with Leyton Orient, with an FA Trophy final at Wembley in the middle as well. So I could just go on all day now. Like I say, it's hard to find the words to describe how what happened this weekend has made me feel. I just thought it'd be easy to just take you through the memories, the good times, and I'm sure that's what a lot of other people connected to Justin are thinking of right now, the good times and the happy memories that he's created, for two and more wonderful football clubs. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope the words I've spoken have done the man justice. So right from the bottom of my heart, Justin, I say thank you for everything you've done for me, because I'm a happier person because my team's a Football League team and they're there because of you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for everything. And may you rest in peace. Cheerio for now. Thank you, guys. Many thanks for watching the latest content on the Amber Army channel. Please make sure you leave us a like. Make sure you subscribe for more content, both for the neutral football fan and also plenty of Newport County. Even more Newport County content can be found on the club's iFollow channel on the link above. It is just £4.49 per month to subscribe to that service. And those of you feeling extra generous can also support us on Patreon on the link at the bottom there. That would be a monthly donation of your choice. Thank you again. Make sure you've subscribed, and as always, up the county.